You come up with a story where somebody just says, you know what? I just wait for Iron Man to just be Tony Stark, and then I just shoot him.
Yeah. You're just walking down the street. Yeah, I wanted something as arbitrary as that. Just rolling up to a party with a pretty girl, Joker. Like, boom.
Like how Omar got it in The Wire.
Yeah.
Sorry to spoil that if any of you people haven't watched The Wire yet.
I don't think anybody's in here watching The Wire.
Thanks for ruining that series from 8 years ago.
That's one of those you've had plenty of time by now.
I like the Joker movie. A lot of friends of mine gave it shit, and I thought it was great.
I loved it too. I think it's fantastic.
And I can't stand Joaquin. I can't stand him as an actor. He whispers to draw him out. Because
He does whisper.
Yeah, but man, he had me. That was a great realistic origin story in my opinion.
I agree.
I really liked it, and I guess billions of dollars agree with us.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. It did make a lot.
Yeah.
I still think all they needed to do was just insinuate at the end that he was just telling a story or just messing with the therapist, and then it could let your mind work. Was he telling the truth? Did this happen or did this not happen? I think that would have really added an extra layer to it than where it was.
Yeah.
Where it ended.
That's a good idea.
He was. I was like he was echoing Donald Trump at the end of that. All his stupid cultist followers were, dancing around in the street.
Because that's my only problem. I mean, you made a joke. Joker really doesn't have anything apart from if you want to give him credit for some sort of weird, otherworldly intellect that he can plan things out. The problem with that Joker movie is that he lucked into so many things where he didn't plan anything out. Just things just broke his way.
Yeah, but that's it. That's chaos, though. That's what it feeds on.
But other writers have taken him in a different direction and made him more of like the calculating, he planned for this. Like this was all part of his scheme. It depends on what Joker is you like.
Yeah, it was definitely a cool take. I think it was a cool modern take, just on somebody who's got some mental health issues for sure. Yeah.
And it was weird. It was a weird modern but throwback take because it kind of threw you back into like a Travis Bickle, Taxi Driver kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I definitely like the time frame that they kind of went with, and they insinuated a lot with that Joker movie, but didn't really say it. Like that dude abusing it. Like they insinuated, but didn't outright come and say what he might have done. I don't know.
No, and then the dreamt reality, the relationship with the neighbor and stuff like that. So then I like that when I was put to light, I went, oh, it's all fucked. It's all off the rails now.
Yeah.
Any of this could be in his head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which was cool, and they should never follow it up. They should just let it.
They can't do that. There's going to be like an HBO special, and there's going to be
No, I think they let it go. I think it's.
Yeah, let it lie.
Just like the original trilogy for Star Wars, right? Just let that be.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the same.
Dude, but not anymore. It's not.
Not anymore.
DC usually will, and Marvel, they'll go in and do that, do that Star Wars thing where they'll just beat it to death, or they'll just ruin it. And that was a good movie, and it was, for them to allow that without getting, trying to fingerprint it all over and make it work for the masses, necessarily. But
yeah,
I thought Logan had a similar feel, right? Just another gritty, awesome movie. So good. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing where DC could have really leaned into that kind of Elseworlds idea that we're just going to tell you a story. This is a one-off. We're just going to tell you this story. The character, but there's nothing else. This is it. If they were to adapt a Sean Murphy's White Knight. That would be cool. It's not going to be, hey, we're going to build a whole universe around this version of Batman. It's this is kind of a separate story we're telling you, and we might make more, we might not. I would watch that.
It was the Unforgiven. Was that the Clint Eastwood one?
Oh yeah, so good.
Gunfighter was Unforgiven with Wolverine that.
Oh yeah, Logan was.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And most superhero movies I can't stand. I got through maybe 30 minutes of Aquaman. Are you fucking kidding me with the CGI? I don't even know where the fuck I am. It's like Willy Wonka's tunnel team. It's so out there.
As soon as nobody breathes bubbles underwater, I was pissed. I'm like, forget it. I can't. I'm done with this movie.
They all drank liquid oxygen like in the abyss. That's what it was.
The abyss, exactly.
The times they're in water should have been like Jaws, as much as you saw the shark.
Yeah,
it would have been such a minor part of the story, you know.
No,
but at the conclusive moment, like just.
I mean, let's face it. The moment he turns around and goes, "Permission to come aboard," you're like, "Ah, I'm done. Forget it. Shutting it off." That's the end.
Yeah, I mean, there's another stupid superhero. I mean, Aquaman's kind of a dumb superhero. I mean, he can control the sharks and whales, right? I mean, he's there, so I guess that's kind of cool if you're on the
theory,
water.
he shouldn't, because a whale isn't a fish.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the boys latches onto that and gives the deep, which is clearly a ridiculing Aquaman, and makes him just totally ridiculous. So I agree with that. Aquaman's dumb.
Yeah, but here's how you beat Aquaman. Don't go in the ocean.
Simple.
Boom. Foil.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I used to always say, I don't know, switching from superheroes, the TV show 24. Like, when you watch that first season, I always go, all you have to do is freaking shut off the cell phone towers, and Jack Bauer's screwed. There's like,
Chloe, it's Jack.
All it is the cell phones work, and he can call everybody to fix the problems. You're just like, what's going on?
Doing it off the satellites. What's up with that?
Oh, but remember, this is what 2001 or whatever, 2002, I guess.
That's right. They had no satellites then. You're right.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah,
no satellites.
That show changed television, though. The idea of like a real time kind of a thing. I mean, that was the real beginning of the new model for television. 24.
Yeah, the serial one. You have to watch the first episode and then the second.
And I was
hooked. Came out.
Man, that show was an event for me.
I still haven't watched it.
Any of them?
Oh, it's good, man.
I own it. I bought like the DVD set, and I plan to watch it, but it's one of those things I've just not gotten around to it.
Don't watch Lost.
I get the same looks when around Christmas time where I say, I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life. And like, I'm a movie guy, but I've never seen it. But just one of those things I've never done.
I watched a little bit. It's kind of racist.
A lot of things are.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the I'm not going to bring it up. Go on. It was a Happy Days episode, but
just go watch Peter Pan again.
Yeah. Google racist Happy Days episode and enjoy yourself.
It's when you pull up any of the I guess from the 90s earlier, it's like, okay, whoa, wait a minute. And even the 90s stuff is
there are certain things from back then where things we used to say as kids you just can't say anymore. It's just not the same. Like, I was watching, my son likes Monster Squad. Like, he really got into Monster Squad. But if you watch Monster Squad at the beginning where Kevin Arnold's older brother starts picking on the fat kid, he calls him a word that I'm like, oh shit. Like, today that word doesn't fly. But back then it was okay to have like a PG-13 movie where you could call another kid that because that's what you kind of did back then.
Oh yeah, it's like Howard Stern put it best. He said, like, when people go after guys on Twitter for what they put up 6, 8, 10 years ago, whatever they put up in an interview 20 years ago, he put it best. We're evolving. You watch Teen Wolf, and in Teen Wolf,
exactly, same thing.
Right? He's like, I got something to tell you, and he's telling what's his face that he's a wolf.
Styles.
You're not about to tell me you're a fag, are you?
Exactly.
Like, no, I'm not a fag, because being a wolf is way less worse. Gay, but they didn't mean gay. They just but yeah, you can't.
It was a different time. Like
different time. I just went back to New Jersey. This is all on PC, but I don't really care.
I'm still in Jersey, so
actually it's okay. I was going to visit, and my mother was like, "Why are you going back this weekend?" And I said, "Well, I looked at the 30-day weather, and next week it's going to be like 40 degrees." And she goes, "Ah, you're such a little faggot." And I was like, "Oh, Mom, you can't say that
anymore.
Say that anymore." I go, I go, you just can't do it. She goes, "What?" I go, it's not what you think it is. Because she has no idea. She's 75 years old.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It doesn't mean what it might mean to people today. Like,
for sure, it was
different. It was different time.
There's a contextual thing and a generational thing, and I think when people come back at other people who've said stupid shit and they're way far away past, like, shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Just relax. Like,
exactly. James Gunn getting a lot of shit for things he said, 12 years ago on Twitter was ridiculous.
That was completely ridiculous. Like, they just, that
like was. It was a bad joke, but it was still a joke. And taking task for it now is ridiculous.
Then they started coming after like comedians and stuff like that. And like,
exactly.
I
like it. Who was it? Dave Chappelle had a show where he pretty much just said, "I'm going to say these things. I know they're not but like they're it's ridiculous."
Yeah.
You hear Chappelle this past Saturday Night Live a couple of days ago?
Yeah. No.
Go watch that.
And Bill Burr the week or so before, like, everyone can just settle down.
Yeah.
When that gun stuff happened, I remember we were premiering Deadly Class at San Diego, and Rick got with me because when I got on Twitter, I thought Twitter was like Facebook, like it was just us. It wasn't the world. Not that I don't have a lot of Twitter followers. Like I said, I don't really tweet a whole lot because I probably should just shut my mouth. I'll probably aggravate people. And there's just too many outlets. I'm not, it's just too much. But he goes, "Hey, Gunn just got shit canned. Lee, I know for sure you said wildly outlandish things to us when you got on Twitter." So I was just roasting all my friends of all different religions and ethnicities and everything. And I went back the next morning. I spent like an hour and a half. And there was even stuff I wrote where I was like, dude, that's not funny. Like, it's not funny, especially if you don't know the players and the history. There's certain it was bad.
Yeah, things could easily be taken out of context.
Well, and some of the stuff, like in No World, like you even need context. It was bad. It was just me trying to get a rise, But I get it, it's gotten more and more people are but when do we hit that wall where now it goes haywire, where we become so PC and now you can't make fun of anything.
I think we're close to that. I think we're close to that tipping point now.
Yeah, it goes the whole other way at some point.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
But see, it's funny because I can think back to, I don't know if you guys remember that show called The State. I still, one episode stuck in my mind, and still does. It was a kid wins prom king or whatever, and the entire premise was he's the gay guy. Like the entire episode is he's the gay guy, and then you find out he's actually a closet heterosexual guy, and they open the curtain when he wins prom king, he's making out with his girlfriend. But the entire premise of that,
amazing. That's funny.
It was hilarious, but bring it up, that's what we've become, where we've gone so far sometimes on we don't want to, we're afraid to be anything other than this. Like we have to be this sort of thing. It is interesting to think through. I don't know where the line is because at the same time, can we not just respect everyone from all sides? I don't know. It's hard. And
go rewatch All in the Family and get back to me.
Well, there's
yeah. I don't see color or gender, so I'm so woke. I'm above it all.
The problem is, it's mostly intention is really the problem. Like intention.
You did that with I'm impressed. You did that with a straight face.
I truly believe it. Nowadays, you can just say whatever the fuck you want. Oh, yeah. You can just say it, and word is born.
That's right.
So I say, prove it.
Where's the?
I'll help you prove it. Even if I'm crying my eyes out by the end of it, we'll prove it. How far you want to go? You want to burn your podcast down tonight?
Let's end this right now.
But I think humor should negate all of it.
Exactly.
Shit.
Exactly.
But someone will find something to hate. My son's a skateboarder, and one of his buddies had turned pro and put out this skate park, and they released it on Thrasher. And as soon as it went live, he jumped on the first comment and he said, "Bring it on, haters." So and I was like, really? Are there a lot of haters on the skate videos? And it's all haters. So people will even hate on a skateboarder, on like the way he skates.
Like, what could you hate on that?
The style he has, or
do another ollie.
How he does the trick. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what the fuck you do, especially in the comic in nerd culture, it's so crazy, man. They're just coming after everybody. And
well, that's one of the things for us. Like right now, we're not big time or anything like that, but like the bigger you get, the more haters you start having, and it becomes a challenge. They want to bash whatever it is you do. Like, why'd you have him instead of Hollingsworth on? Why did you? I mean, like
you had me instead of Hollingsworth because I'm more handsome.
Yes.
There you go.
And Matt would laugh at that because
because you don't take things too seriously. Like,
right, fuck it. I mean, like I was saying, I wanted to pick out books where the color ruined the art. I will happily lambast colorists. And that's fine if they do it to me. They'll say I'm lazy or something. Oh, he's lazy, tries to do everything flat. Fine. That's cool. Like, that's fine. It's not fucking precious. Like, I don't have ego about it.
Yeah.
There's certain things I'll do if I do a book, and I'm doing a book with Pornsack Pitch Show. He did it's right over here. I can't remember. I'm drinking now, so you'll know the book. God damn it!
Welcome aboard.
Before it even came out, Infidel.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we're doing a book. I can't say the name because he's gonna announce it, but he and I have been friends since the Vertigo days, and I told him I'm gonna take an approach on this scene. You're either gonna get it or you're not gonna get it, and if you don't get it, that's fine. But he got it, and I was trying to do something so subtle and mellow and kind of I believe in pacing. You should really pace a story, even if it's bland, until that big moment. And most comic editors and companies, they just want, all cum shots all the time. They just, and, you never build up any sort of intensity. But some people, some people get it, some people don't. But it's fine though. I mean, different strokes for different folks. That's the phrase I coined.
What was the name of the book that you wanted to do again?
Meat Stroke the Sperminator.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna have to come up with a graphic and create your cover for you for that book. Or do you have you drew it back in the day? And you can send us the image. This is what it would look like.
It's just colors, no
just
pencil.
colors, no inks, no.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of colors.
Yeah. Well, it's
a lot of whites and off whites.
Yeah.
It took me 3 years to do like 5 pages. That was a pragmatic, talent and pragmatic decision why I did color. Because I'm too slow to draw. I'm not nearly as good enough to do it. Even look at a guy like Dave McCaig, great colorist, great artist. I don't know why he doesn't do comics, but I'm going to venture a guess it would take him too long. So like career-wise, he can make a whole lot more money and a better living doing color. Because I tried to ink for a time, and I was, just putting that, what your rate is and how quickly you can get through pages made no sense. Although I didn't take into account royalties, and inkers back, I think still to this day get 40% of the pages. So you can sell that art. But I didn't take that into account. And then writing, I'm like, well, fuck that. I can make as much as a writer, and I can. It's way less difficult. But then I forgot about royalties and options and screenplay writing.
How many pages can you get through? Like in a day or a week? Like how many pages can you color? Like I know like penciling and inking, like some of that stuff can be, pretty labor intensive, but is coloring faster for you?
I have an assistant. Well, not an assistant. Every colorist usually has a flatter. So they go in and just do just ancillary color, like trees are green, grass is green, people are white. That's my racist joke. We're all white males. Everything's sort of generic, and then you add we don't have to trace everything, and it definitely saves like an hour. But like if you're coloring, like I'm looking at Hellboy, like I could do a Mignola page in 20 minutes. If it's flatted, if I flat it myself, I could probably do it in a half hour, maybe 35 minutes. But if it's like a high art book, like I did a cover for AWA the other day, a variant for a new book of theirs, and it took me a few hours, but it's a cover, you know.
Yeah.
And I wanted to look, I didn't do it flat by any means. I tried to make it look pretty decent. I probably could have spent even more time on it. But there were times where I've spent like 6 hours on a page, and then you realize that doesn't service the schedule. So like when I get tired to do a book, my instinct is to go simple. But then the second thing is the business side of it. What you know, is this book going to be coming in late? Are they going to give me 2 to 3 days to do it? Because a lot of times that's the fact. We're picking up the slack for all the lateness that's happened throughout script and art, inks, and all that stuff.
You got to make up the time.
Yeah, if you jump on your first issue and it takes you 11 days, one, you're fucking yourself monetarily. Two, by issue 4, you're screwed because they're going to be like, hey man, you got to do what you did, you know, consistently.
Oh yeah.
You have 3 days to do it, and I made that mistake early in my career where I was doing, you know, 18-hour days, and I was like, what am I doing? This is crazy. But
he could turn out 3 pages a day.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I can get through some pages. I mean, I've had easy books where I've done like 23 pages in a day. But I used to try to do 10 a day all the time, but now I've slowed it down. I do like 6 to 8. I like to do. And again, it's a schedule thing. It's trying to start on Monday, get the book done by Thursday morning so you can do corrects and stuff and you know, deliver it for Friday, you know, Friday AM or late Thursday. So for me, it's more of a schedule, and it's more of a pragmatic approach. So,
I gotcha.
You know, like I always give advice to younger guys, like their girls trying to get in or theys trying to get in, just try to be strategic in how you deliver that first page, you know. And even when I do samples, I'll do samples this is how I think it'll be done, but I'll always skew easier, you know, simpler. And not all art works flat.
Yeah.
You know, like I like to do flat with 1 or 2 cuts, you know, just bring it in, maybe a texture layer, you know, stuff that looks good. But, you know, ultimately, you guys know, I mean, you get through a book in 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and then you go back and then you start taking your time with the art, you know, with learning. I mean, I do that. I usually read through it quickly. Now, you know, I have an idea what the story is. Now I can go back and take the visuals in with it because it's a little too confusing to me, at least.